brewpub is basically a restaurant that makes the beer they serve on premise. Brewpubs are cooler because, well, I shouldn't say that brewpubs are cooler. I have a lot of friends in the microbrew industry, but it's a much more of a connection with the community because I get to see the people drink the beer that I just made.
Finding that Charlottesville was not so easy. See, I was on this side of the bar, and then they said, well, you've been on this side of the bar so long, how about moving over to that side of the bar for a while? So it's kind of as random as that.
I don't see you very often.
Well, I think like everybody who's in the industry, I was a homebrewer first, which means that when I was in college, sometimes a little bit before I was 21, I started making beer for fun. It was just kind of an exploratory thing, and I just took it a little too far. I was an English major in college and didn't want to go to law school or teach, so I started volunteering at South Street actually, I think in 99 or 2000.
What brought me to South Street was beer, and yeah.
See, here's our beer list. What flavor would you like today?
What I did earlier, before you guys got here, was my brewery's actually split up into two. My favorite beer to make here really changes seasonally. I get tired of whatever's on tap for too long. Today I'm brewing Satan's Pony and it's on tap year round, so I find that I rarely drink it because I make it all the time, and it's just kind of like eating ham and eggs every morning for breakfast. You get pretty sick of it. I have just finished what's called mashing in. It's the first step of making beer, and it's actually the first step of making whiskey or most alcohol. Is you need to convert starches that are natural in barley or whatever grain into sugars, and later the yeast will ferment this in alcohol. So very important step. This here was an alley, the old H.H. Hankins Hay and Grain, and this building was built in 1899. And the brewery used to be an alley, and they had added on to this, you know, well before we got here. But it's cool that they preserved that there. It's literally from, you know, late 18, early 1900s. See, it's an old compass. It's pretty cool. You barely make it out, but it's one of those old nautical-looking compasses that has the cardinal points and the ones on it. Boy, it's getting pretty shabby. We have to ask for permission to redo the sign here, I believe, from the Charlottesville Architectural Board, because it's a historical building. So we've got our little neon sign down there that lets everybody know it's a brewery, but pretty much it hasn't been touched in the 7 years that we've been a brewery here. Could use a touch-up, though.
It has a real family vibe.
It's a family connection, really.
I've been in town here since November of '99, but ever from that day, I was looking for my idea of a bar. I mean, a bar where people can actually recognize you, remember you, treat you like a human being.
Not so much on the fish, but it was a beautiful day and we had a good time.
Excellent.
And finding that in this town is not easy, but I found it here, so plus, like I said, great beer.
The mayor's probably the most religious regular here.
I know the mayor. Sure. He's good people.
If the mayor doesn't show up here every day, we worry about the sun coming up. And he's a, good old school Irish Catholic who graduated from Notre Dame, and if you're a Golden Domer, you appreciate your beer.
Politicians on the TV news make any promises to damn well choose.
I think you're entirely. Oh, look, the mayor. What's up, mayor? I think you're entirely lucky that anybody showed up here at all. I think you're lucky that.
Why do they call me the mayor? You'd probably have to ask Satch about that, but mostly it's because I'm here way too much. I've been coming here at least 5 years. And off and on before that, from when they opened, a friend of mine started working here immediately, so we would come in. You know, obviously it started out being the beer, because if the beer wasn't any good, I probably wouldn't have come back.
Favorite beer? That's tough. See, that's seasonally specific.
My favorite is the. Well, I've switched several times. There's a beer out there for everybody.
One of my favorites would be the bourbon porter, where he brews a porter in an old bourbon barrel, so it picks up that flavor of bourbon. It's incredible.
I've gone from the Kolsch to the Satan's Pony, and now I just powder myself all around. This right here is the Nitro ESB, nitrogen injected extra special bitters. I think ESB stands for.
If it wasn't for the beer, we're not here.
So the beer is traveling all of probably 20 feet from the tanks to the taps. It's just kind of like the peak of freshness. You can't get beer any fresher than this.
Hot tamale red hot, yes, you gotta be said. Hot tamale red hot, yeah, you gotta be said.
Yeah, it's largely the people. You know, it becomes the sort of pseudo-religious justification for a drinking problem.
Yes, you gotta be said, yeah.
Here come the nicknames.
You're my voice.
Hot tamale red hot, yeah, you gotta be said. Hot tamale red hot, yes, you gotta be said. Me and my babe bought a V8 Ford. We dropped that thing on a running board. Hot tamale red hot, yes, you gotta be said. I mean, yes, you gotta be said, Doyle.